some adventures don't always go to plan. What is going on? We arrived on Bohol Island, home to one of the most iconic sites in the Philippines. The Chocolate Hills complex in the town of Carmen houses the best viewing deck over the countryside. Amazing view. Looks like lots of giant anthills. But as an experience, it'll only take you around half an hour to see. And beyond the iconic mounds, this island has so much more to explore. Oh my God! So, let's start from the beginning. Bohol is the 10th largest island in the Philippines, but most tourists choose to stay on Panglao Island in the southwest. And they do that for a very good reason. To stay on the white sand shores of Alona Beach. This is actually a much nicer beach than I expected. I don't really know what I expected, but it's definitely nice. Alona Beach is a busy resort town that caters to almost everyone. In fact, its lively atmosphere makes it very reminiscent of another beach in the Philippines. There's definitely a Boracay sort of vibe here. But it's like a miniature Boracay. And it has a few more of the hallmarks that probably Boracay was more famous for before the shutdown. So, you know, there's a lot of entertainment in the evenings on the beach. You're allowed to smoke on the beach. You can take drinks onto the beach. And it's got that trademark white sand as well. Alona Beach became even more popular when Boracay shut down, and that popularity has not waned at all. It is very busy here. You can find a lot of restaurants and bars open late into the night. Great spots to enjoy the incredible colours of the sunsets here. But for us, Panglao was mainly a jumping off point for exploring the wider sights of Bohol Island itself. And exploring is exactly what we did the very next day. There are many ways of getting around Bohol Island, but probably the most efficient way to see as much as possible is by renting a motorbike. We rented ours from our hotel, complete with a Hello Kitty helmet for Emma. Panglao is connected to Bohol via a long road bridge, which makes travelling between the two islands very easy. I'd say the roads here in Bohol are really nice, really smooth. Very nice to drive on. After a couple of hours on the road, we arrived near the famous Loboc River, which runs right through the centre of the island. And I think we chose the best way to get our first views of it. We just arrived at the Eco Adventure Park in Loboc, which is most famous for its beautiful river, but we are about to do a zip line right over it. The unique thing about this zip line is that you can ride side by side with other people. So Emma and I decided to take the plunge together. We did one zip line in the Philippines already, in Puerto Princesa, but this looks a hell of a lot higher. We got ourselves kitted out and got ready for the drop. And before we knew it, The race was on. Oh my God! That was awesome. The view down on the river is amazing. There's like these little waterfalls. And the best thing about it is we have to go all the way back again now. Round 2! So you get 2 flights for the price of 1. It's 400 pesos per person for a return trip, so you actually get 2 trips on the zip line and it's worth every penny. To calm things down a bit, we wanted to get a little bit closer to the water. To get a closer look at the river, we've come to a place called Nuts Huts, which is aptly named because the journey here destroyed mine. Nuts Huts is a hostel with a very cool atmosphere. Nestled up in the trees of the rainforest with some amazing views down over the scenery. It also has a staircase leading right down to the water's edge. The waterfront here is so peaceful, a real escape from the more touristy attractions that we visited that day. Well, that was until the boats arrived. Most of the group package tours on the island include a river cruise like this, and it's quite a sight to see all of these loud party boats in such a peaceful surrounding. We had some plans for the next day, but unfortunately, the weather had other ideas. Unfortunately, we've woken up to a bit of a wet and grim day today on Panglao Island. But the added rainfall might be a good thing for some of the things we want to get to tomorrow. But that wouldn't be the last trouble caused by the rain. So stay tuned for that mess. What is going on? The aim for our last day was to explore some of Bohol's hidden waterfalls. But first, we dropped in to see some of the island's most famous inhabitants. We have arrived at the Philippines Tarsier Sanctuary. A tarsier is a very, very small primate that looks quite a lot like Yoda. Whenever you visit an animal sanctuary, make sure you do your research before you go. There are quite a few tarsier sanctuaries around Bohol, but not all of them seem that ethical. So the red flags tend to be if you're allowed to hold them, you're allowed to touch them, you're allowed to get up really close in their faces, it's probably not a good place to go. The Philippines Tarsier Foundation is having some success with restoring the populations of these very endangered creatures. The enclosures here are semi-wild, so it replicates the environment that the animals like while keeping them safe from predators. After a minute or so of creeping between the trees, we finally saw some of these amazing little creatures. Tarsiers are very sensitive souls. They don't like bright light, loud noises, or any physical contact, and they can even be suicidal when put under too much stress. We felt very lucky to be able to see them with our own eyes. But after that, our luck started to change. The heavens have well and truly opened again. It's not nice riding in the rain. But luckily, it didn't stop us from finding our first waterfall. The rain has now stopped and we made it to the Magasso Falls. They're just down these steps here. Look at this. Amazing waterfall, and then there's a giant pool at the bottom of it. Need to get in there and swim. We passed well over an hour swimming in the pool, and you can get right up onto the plateau to take a shower under the waterfall itself. Awesome falls. The highlight is definitely the pool to swim in, and you can watch all the local kids do some cliff jumping too. Now we're getting back on the bike and onto the next waterfall. Everything was looking so good. The roads were smooth, the views were amazing, and we were headed to what was supposed to be an even more amazing waterfall. Raining again. Luckily, it really is just downpours. It'll start raining for about 5 minutes, then it'll stop again. Yeah, I was wrong about that. Very wrong. This rain wasn't going to stop anytime soon. We're at the turn-off for the Khao San Falls bet. We've just been hit by the heaviest rain yet, so we're taking shelter to see when it will pass. It's been a while already though. We thought we'd found a gap in the rain, but it was very short-lived. And we found ourselves under even less cover, on what looked like a muddy track in the middle of nowhere. I am absolutely drenched. It's pouring down with rain, and I can see the waterfall we're trying to get to just over there, but there's no way we're getting to it because the footpath is turned into a waterfall as well. What is going on? And then my camera starts to feel the effects too. Working, anyone? Hello? This might be the death of my camera as well. It's going crazy, but we're going to walk down to the waterfall now because we've come all this way. Fingers crossed. The funniest thing is, we both packed our waterproof jackets this morning and we thought, nah, don't need those. Look, it's nice and sunny. But despite being soaked through, we didn't give up. What? Oh man, look at these huts. That'll keep you dry. On the other side of the path, we were greeted by a stunning waterfall, which, in retrospect, made everything worthwhile. And that was the end of our adventure across Bohol. We made it back safely to Phang Lao Island, and despite being completely waterlogged, I wouldn't change a thing. These sorts of trips have ups and downs, but it just makes them even more memorable. Bohol is an island that really has everything, and the diversity is what makes it such a popular place to visit. So if you want an island to give you a well-rounded Philippines experience, this is a really great choice. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time for another Philippines adventure.